Hi everyone, let's dive straight into the C1 Advanced Speaking exam. The test is divided into 4 parts, each designed to test a different aspect of your English speaking skills. Part 1 is called the interview, and we can also say it's the warm-up part. The examiner will ask you a question about yourself, your interests, your studies, and your career, etc. So be prepared to provide information about yourself, about your personal stuff. It's pretty straightforward, but it's your chance to make a good impression on the examiners. So my number 1 tip is to stay calm and answer fluently and naturally. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Don't try to use those fancy words. Just stick to your basics and stay fluent. Your answers doesn't have to be very long. Just 2 or 3 sentences, that's enough. Some useful phrases you can use here are I'm particularly interested in that, or in my free time I enjoy doing. I have been doing something for years, or I've been studying English for years. So this part is not so much about perfection and complexity, it's rather about just fluency and staying natural. Part 2 is called the long turn. Here, each candidate gets a set of pictures, 3 pictures, and from those, they need to choose just 2 and talk about them for about a minute, compare them, describe them, and answer a question. Then, the other candidate who wasn't speaking receives a question about those pictures and needs to answer with 20-second, 30-second response. So my tips for the picture comparison. You have 1 minute, so make sure you speak for the full minute. Just remember this structure. Firstly, briefly introduce and describe the pictures. Nothing too long, just a couple of sentences. Then compare the pictures. Try to find at least one similarity and one difference. You can use some linking words like however, whereas, on the other hand, to contrast the pictures. And lastly, try to answer both questions within the time limit. You can even go in more detail if you still have time. You can add a personal example or just elaborate on your explanation. You should also speculate about the pictures because we can't know for sure what exactly is in the pictures. So that's why you should use always present continuous. So they are doing, they are playing, he is sporting, and so on. Then you can also use modal verbs to speculate, like might or could, and some nice phrases like it appears to be, or I can only imagine they, or I believe they are, to say you're not certain, but you think they are doing that certain activity. And lastly, don't just describe the pictures, what you can see there at first sight. It's important to analyze them and to say what the people might be feeling and what are their emotions and why are they doing this. Because that's usually what the questions are asking about. Now for part 3, that's the collaborative task. In this task, you will need to cooperate with your partner. You'll be given a topic, central topic, with 5 prompts around it. You have 2 minutes to discuss at least 3 of these prompts with your partner. So discuss the advantages, disadvantages, the benefits, and so on. Try to interact with your partner. This is conversation. So don't speak for too long. Try to ask your partner for their opinion and also express your own views, your own ideas, and try to add on his ideas as well. That makes the conversation really engaging, and the examiners love to see that. Then, after 2 minutes, you'll be given 1 more minute to get to a conclusion, meaning you usually need to choose which of these options is the best one or the most important one. You don't need to agree with your partner on one specific thing. You just need to present arguments and support your opinion. So some useful phrases for this part would be, what do you think? What do you suggest to ask for their opinion? And then also express your opinion in response to theirs. So yeah, that's a great point. I agree with you. Or I couldn't agree more, but I would also add that. Or I'm not sure about that. What if we... And you can kind of develop the conversation a bit more. And now for part 4, this is called the discussion. This part kind of follows up on part 3 and discusses a topic which is related to part 3. In this one, the examiner will give you a couple of questions for both of you, you and your partner. You need to discuss those questions. They are usually more general, more broad, and you need to also go back and forth. So it's a conversation. You need to interact with your partner. Say if you agree with them or ask them what their opinion is, and so on. It's always important to listen to what your partner is saying, because then the examiners might ask you, and what do you think? And you should always know what they were talking about, and you can kind of follow up on that, or you can agree or disagree. The topics in this part are usually quite complex and abstract, so be prepared to dive into the topic and really present complex arguments and some strong reasons why you think that is true or that's not. And now I have for you a couple of preparation tips how to pass this exam with confidence. My first big tip would be to speak English every day. I know it sounds obvious, but most students don't have the opportunity to do that. And that's why I always recommend to just speak to yourself. Just whatever you're doing, whatever activity you're doing, try to describe what is happening, what you think, what other people are feeling, what they are doing. And just like that, you practice speaking English every day. And after that, it doesn't feel weird anymore to just open your mouth and talk about random things in English. You are prepared for that. Another important tip I can give you is to record yourself when you are trying to answer those tricky speaking questions, especially about the pictures, because you want to time it and also know how you're doing, if you're progressing your ideas. If you have the opportunity, you should also try to simulate the exam with your partner. It can be your friend, family member, or your teacher. Try to just have a conversation about this certain topic, answer those questions, or even describe the pictures. This can really help you because you feel confident when speaking with somebody else. Lastly, if you have a teacher, then try to get as much feedback as possible. The more you know about your performance, the more you can actually improve. And it doesn't even have to be your teacher. It can even be your friends or peers who noticed certain mistake you're making, and they can correct you so that you can improve even more. And that's it. Remember, preparation and practice are your best tools for success in the C1 Advanced Speaking exam. If you found this video helpful, then don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with others preparing for the exam. Good luck!